If you are experiencing foundation issues, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Tom Roberts from the Greater Coosa Valley Chamber of Commerce, and we've got a couple of segments today because there's so much going on. I want to remind everybody that this is homecoming week for Childersburg High School. They've got all sorts of things, a parade Thursday evening. They have the homecoming tailgate on Friday afternoon and the big game that evening. You'll also have the chance to help them organize a new PTO organization by registering at the table set up at the homecoming game. And there's so many other things going on. But right now we want to look a little bit farther down the road, just a little bit. I think it's 19 days because there's a big drawing coming up. And the drawing is important because it's helping raise important funds. We have a couple of folks here that most folks will recognize by the hats they're wearing. They are veterans. They are folks that stand up for the veterans in our area, especially those of the disabled variety. And I'll go ahead and put a plug in for my next door neighbor growing up. He was the hero, the ultimate hero for folks around here that ordinary citizens every day, but especially our veterans, and more especially our disabled veterans, Bill Nichols. And I know you're associated some with that name because of the Veterans Home down in Alexander City. But we have Scott Shoemaker from Daybreak, Alabama, as well as Brother Ed Jenkins, who handles a lot of veteran stuff with the American Legion. Even got an office down at the courthouse. So good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Can you tell us a little bit about the drawing that's going on?
We partnered up with Post 143 out of Dadeville with the American Legion.
And they're all brothers.
Yes, we all are. And we're raffling off a big boy rifle. It's a .44 Magnum. All proceeds are going to go to help out our associations. We're both nonprofit. Ours is going to help us get a van, maintain a van, so we can transport the veterans to and from their appointments that are no longer able to drive or can't drive at a certain point. I myself had to take advantage of that once in a while, and we give rides to any veteran that needs it.
And actually, you know, it'd be great to win the firearm, but that's not the point. The point is raising funds for an important cause, because there are veterans out there who cannot get to and from their appointed appointments, and whether that be at a VA facility like the one we have over in Childersburg, Alabama, or any other clinic, because I know that things have opened up a little bit and private physicians are handling some things. You just want to take care of those folks who can't do for themselves. How did you manage to get into the position you have? And tell us, what is your position?
Currently, I'm the chapter commander for DAV Chapter 13, Bill Nichols out of Alexander City. It's a yearly election we go through. Our members feel who's the right person for that position. And I just went from being a normal member to our senior vice to now the commander. And
well, from the conversations we've had, I don't think they're going to find somebody that'll be better. Maybe just as good, but not better. Because I know that you have a heart for the problem. Now, I know you wear a back brace. You put off some surgery this week, and I'm going to say it's so you could be here, and that wasn't necessarily the case. But is that service connected?
Yes, it is.
And that's what got you to be. Now, disabled carries a wide range.
Very wide.
Things. Some folks, like Bill Nichols, were disabled, but that didn't disable them from contributing greatly to society. And that's kind of what this is about.
Right.
You want to make them citizens who are veterans, who are disabled, who can do as much as is humanly possible to help keep providing the service that they did, just not with a weapon in their hand under active duty.
A lot of our disabilities they're unseen. It's not the physical disabilities, it's the ones we hold within.
Now, and I can vouch for that one. My dad was one of those. He suffered nightly from his service during World War II, and it came back to haunt him literally every single night. Now, if there are veterans out there, these are the two go-to guys in our region. Scott and Brother Ed Jenkins. What do they need to do? How can they get involved? How can they reach out to you and the veterans organizations? And there's several of them.
There's several out there. With us, the DAV Chapter 13, we do casework every Wednesday. The first and third Wednesdays, we just started from 9 to 1. The second and fourth Wednesdays are from 1 to 5, and these are all done at 82 Court Square at the Bud Porch Building. We're upstairs.
And this is in Alexander
City. And Ed does right here in Sylacauga at the courthouse, along with a couple other veterans, Fred Pearson, and can't remember Mike's last name.
Tony Mitchell.
Tony Mitchell.
Mike Pearson, Tony Mitchell?
Fred Pearson.
Okay.
And Tony Mitchell.
Okay, Fred Pearson. That's a different Pearson.
Tuesdays and Wednesdays?
Mike Pearson, too.
Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Okay, now, at the same time, those tickets are available through the post down in Alexander City.
Right.
But I've been waiting to say this. We have here in the Sylacauga-Childersburg area, Booty with Boots on the Ground. That's his nickname. Brother Ed Jenkins over here.
Okay, 256-786-1622. We get the tickets to you.
And any other needs that you have. I know this is a lot. You weren't ready to write things down and talk about it, but if there are veterans who just like to get involved and help out brother veterans, or you're disabled, or you've got some issues that you need to deal with for your particular situation as far as being a veteran, veterans benefits, I urge you to get in touch. What was that phone number again, Booty?
256-786-1622.
Okay, and if you can't get that, you go down on what days to the courthouse?
Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
I'm just trying to beat this horse to death so that we can get folks some help, because that's one of the biggest things. Is there are some folks out there that desperately need some help as far as veterans benefits and treatment and such things, but they're a little bit shy. There was a generation of folks that if you ask for help, that was a sign of weakness. But I know that probably wouldn't still be around, because he'd be in his, he'd be over 100 now, but my daddy just was one of those who wouldn't step up and get the help that he needed from the traumas of being active duty in the war. And we got to change that. What would you give as a word of encouragement? Look straight in the camera and tell them what they need to do.
Come talk to us. We can help. You're entitled to the same benefits. There's no shame in getting it. You're entitled to it. And if I may, for those of you out there who just want to help a veteran, we need volunteers as well to be the drivers. You don't have to be a disabled veteran to drive this van. We'll take anybody as long as you can pass a VA according physical. You can drive our van to get our veterans to and from those appointments.
And this is an important factor in that, because we have people that are going without simply because they don't stand up and ask. And these are the guys reporting to them right now, Scott and Ed, that are stepping up for you. Get involved with them, help out brother veterans. And now, what's your time in? You were with the 4th Division.
4th Infantry Division. I went to Iraq in 2003.
And Booty?
1966 through 68 and 69, part of regular service, and then in 1988 I got out of the National Guard, and I was in Vietnam for a grand total of 18 months.
We very much appreciate you guys and your service, and hope to see a lot of your brother veterans a little bit later this morning. This is going to air again. It'll be on YouTube, but in the meantime, there is an event that's going to be honoring y'all on 9/11, and we appreciate your service. Gentlemen, I know I'm not in uniform, but salute, because what you do is both vital and important. We'll be back with more on Daybreak from the Greater Coosa Valley Chamber of Commerce. I'm Tom Roberts.